Say yeah.
I got to good production.
AOMA. Yeah. Look, so this is not a social experiment. Then we put aside the ignorance and have a chat about Caribbean. The social studies, this is something that is pivotal. And like it's something that is missing from curriculums. So who's a part of who is not and who they're playing us. And why we warring with each other extra and drilling us. And making millions and we just out here giggling. While our workforce is feeling better, we got time for come together and argue about curry. But can't come together for the issues in every country. Banna be the keeper, your sister and your buddy. These banners there for money and we out here acting funny. We got the curry from the Indians. Have you heard about the Anglophone Caribbean? You don't argue with the people who are ignorant. They bring you down to the level and beat you with experience. Yeah, them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the seas. We are one Western, one Caribbean, say one West Indies. Them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the seas. We are one Western, indivisible, say one West Indies. Them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the seas. We are one Western, one Caribbean, say one West Indies. Them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the seas. We are one Western, indivisible. Sabana, I did be so happy when I see international news with me and Martley, Keith Rowley, Irfan Ali. I you best tell the one Rihanna call me. Don't forget she got any side of the family. The word Caribbean came from the Caribs. Bear in mind this piece of knowledge. They didn't care where Guyana land is, but they took the culture there when they travel. Read about the Treaty of Chaguaramas, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Guyana. So where's the major hype? Let's school these manners. So what I mean? I don't see how anyone accept it we. If culture means geography, keep the apology, spare me the commentary. Yeah, them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the seas. We are one Western, one Caribbean, say one West Indies. Them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the seas. We are one Western, indivisible, say one West Indies. Them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the sea. We are one Western, one Caribbean, say one West Indies. Them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the sea. We are one Western, indivisible. Say yeah.
I got to good production.
AOMA. Say yeah.
I got to good production.
AOMA. Yeah. Look, so this is not a social experiment. Then we put aside the ignorance and have a chat about Caribbean. The social studies, this is something that is pivotal. And like it's something that is missing from curriculums. So who's a part of who is not and who they're playing us. And why we warring with each other extra and drilling us. And making millions and we just out here giggling. While our workforce is feeling better, we got time for come together and argue about curry. But can't come together for the issues in every country. Banna be the keeper, your sister and your buddy. These banners there for money and we out here acting funny. We got the curry from the Indians. Have you heard about the Anglophone Caribbean? You don't argue with the people who are ignorant. They bring you down to the level and beat you with experience. Yeah, them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the seas. We are one Western, one Caribbean, say one West Indies. Them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the seas. We are one Western, indivisible, say one West Indies. Them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the Sabana, I just be so happy when I see international news with me and Martley, Keith Rowley, Irfan Ali. I your best tell the one Rihanna call me. Don't forget she got any side of the family. The word Caribbean came from the Caribs. Bear in mind this piece of knowledge. They didn't care where Guyana land is, but they took the culture there when they travel. Read about the Treaty of Chaguaramas, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Guyana. So where's the major hype? Let's school these manners. So what I mean, I don't see how anyone accepting we. If culture means geography, keep the apology, spare me the commentary. Yeah, them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the seas. We are one Western, one Caribbean, say one West Indies. Them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the seas. We are one Western, indivisible, say one West Indies. Them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the seas. We are one Western, one Caribbean, say one West Indies. Them can't segregate we. From the hills to the coast to the seas. We are one Western, indivisible. So yeah.
I try to good production.
AOMA.
Caution them.
AG.
Make it an anthem. Land of Guyana, of rivers and plains. I'm a real Guyanese. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment I leave. I'm a real Guyanese. From the red to the black to the gold to the white to the green. I'm a real Guyanese. And nothing can change me. So nothing can change me. I'm a real Guyanese. I live in a foreign country. So nothing can change me. 6 races, beautiful faces. Put your hand them in the air if you're not racist. I pledge myself to honor always. I will never disgrace this. Them want peace and we mop. Wait your mothers, we not get you that. No, not one caress. Not a blade of grass. Listen up, 83,000 square miles. Oh my God, we find aisle. Me not tell you no lie. Guyana nice, but me swear for my life. Land of many waters, bring out all the leaders in the sun, them and the daughters. If you want to, we fight. No, not at all. I'm a real Guyanese. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment I leave. I'm a real Guyanese. From the red to the black to the gold to the white to the green. I'm a real Guyanese. And nothing can change me. So nothing can change me. I'm a real Guyanese. I live in a foreign country. So nothing can change me. Big up stop broke. Allow it tough crook. It now is pretty son about that try act shook. Got a big up GRM, me know I'm a tax look. And when me have the money, me can go for my bank book. Beautiful Guyana, we there in South America. Land of kite, the flora and the fauna. Independent people, so we doing what we wanna. Never violate because you could become a Ghana. Them love we country, all the foreigners, them children salute you. In the Indian temple, now we border, we no want no problem. Never fall, we forever standing. Me love how God make ya, would never forsake ya. Unique in every way, could I never mistake ya. If Guyana was a girl, we surely would date ya. That's why them want take ya. I'm a real Guyanese. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment I leave. I'm a real Guyanese. From the red to the black to the gold to the white to the green. I'm a real Guyanese. And nothing can change me. So nothing can change me. I'm a real Guyanese. I live in a foreign country.
If I think about the ways you make me smile, I'd be sitting here and smiling for a while. Although I know I make you cry sometimes, your happiness is ever on my mind. I cannot repay for everything you've done, but my love for you burns brighter to where my feet and mind may go. My heart will lead to you when you're alone. Guyana, Guyana, I'll be holding on to you forevermore. Guyana, Guyana, may the blessings of God never leave your shore. A paradise so wondrous to behold, a work of art, your heart is gleaming gold. They sail the waters, soar above the trees, to find the gem between the mountains and seas. Your children know we try though we may fall. We stand united now to heed your call. Our fathers fought the fights for liberty. Forever I'll defend Guyana free. Guyana, Guyana, I'll be holding on to you forevermore. Guyana, Guyana, may the blessings of God never leave your shore. Guyana, Guyana, I'll be holding on.
Morning, guys. Share the live, guys. Share the live.
Guyana, Guyana, may the blessings of God never leave your shore.
I love this song. Pick up yourself, Jackie Jackson.
Rise up for your land. Rise up, won't everybody stand? Rise up for your land. Rise up, won't everybody take a stand? Rise up for your land. Rise up, won't everybody stand? Rise up for your land. Oh, Guyana, Guyana.
This is our beautiful country, Guyana. Good morning to all the Livewire viewers. Welcome down to another program. Thank you guys for being here. It's wonderful to be here with you on this Wednesday morning as we continue to progress throughout the week and the rest of 2023. We're almost at the end, heading into 2024. Big things on the cards for the country in relation to development and moving the country forward. However, whilst there's development, there are certain detractors that would lead you to believe something else. Special good morning to Miss Colleen Sampson joining us on the live. Really great to have you here. I don't think I ever saw you in the comments before, but thank you for being here this morning, and all the other councillors and local representatives who are joining us on the live. I know we have several councillors from City Hall that join us here, also from the New Amsterdam Town Council and Linden as well. Thank you guys for being here. I know we have some persons from the RDCs in the Region 7, Region 8 as well. They tune into the program. Thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate the support. So special good morning to Miss Eunice Ragabir joining us all the way from Canada. Gil Ian, Chitra Sukraj, Keith Benjamin. Good morning to you, brother. Bisun Dial Sukram. Good morning, brother. Hope you had a good night at work. Chitra Sukraj. Sally Jones, morning to you. Abdul Samad, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Rajiv Maraj, Leroy Mangal, New York City in the building. Pick up yourself, Leroy. Good to have you here on the live this morning. Happy that you were able to tune in. Richard Aku, Aklu, one out of the two. But Richard, morning to you. Dionandan Suku, good morning to you. Ishmael Abdullah, good morning to you. Omar Sharif joining us from NYC. So we got Omar and Leroy from NYC in the building. Datan Nandalal, Krista Kaur Prasad, big up yourself, brother. Thank you for joining the program. Ann Hill, Rennie Prasad, Keith Adams, Orvin Ramcharan, Shakila Bridgelal, Vishram Patrick, good morning to you. Horace Sankar, again, Miss Colleen Sampson, a special good morning to you. Dale Henry, Dale waking up early these days, people. Dale and sleeping late. Dale by alarm clock. So he's here with us on time every morning. Avinash Siraj, morning. Pam Singh, Andre Jackman, I was supposed to call you yesterday. I said, like, we followed, brother. I ain't hearing from you. You understand? I was supposed to ask Asher if me, you got problem. I ain't hearing from you, brother. Me, you good. But I'm glad to see you here. Good to see you still around and you're still doing your thing. Check with them people for them Jews, Andre. Check with them people. So, Hoda, morning to you. Miss Ramdas, good morning. Zaza Ali, morning to you. Morning to you. Morning to all those persons tuning in from Facebook, YouTube, whichever platform you're looking at us from. Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. And I hope you guys have a really productive day today. Once you're done with the program and you head out to do whatever else you got planned for the day. So, what are we dealing with this morning? Now, man, look. Sometimes the hypocrisy that comes from certain... But before I get into that, I just want to remind you guys that the Parents Educate Me Summer Camp 2023 is starting on the 14th of October. There is a contact number on the flyer. You can contact Miss Lowingfield and get yourself registered to be part of that. You'll be going through the paces in relation to language arts and mathematics. And this program is geared to better help parents who might not be highly educated to have a better grasp of their children's homework and to assist in their children's homework and the education of their children. So again, guys, please please take this opportunity, get registered for the Parents Educate Me Summer Camp 2023. Govy in the building, my old PYRG comrade. How are you, brother? I hope you still on the west side. No, he from the west side, I think so. But big up yourself. Thank you for joining the program. Happy to have you here. Hopefully we get PYRG started again, and some of these good people could get involved in that activity. In that program, I should say, which comes from the Duke of Edinburgh's award out of England and has impacted thousands. We're in the People Jersey, right here. We're in the People Jersey. I'm a product of that program, so I'm hoping that program gets restarted and it can continue to impact Guyanese in a meaningful way, especially young men who come from single parent homes. The kind of leadership and guidance you get from that program, it steers most of those young men who would have gone down a bad path, if not onto a better path, right? So let's jump into today's content. A lot of talk about GPL, blackouts, and who's doing what and who's not, and that kind of thing. And sometimes I feel like persons have selective memory loss, right? Blackouts aren't anything new in Guyana, and we had them under the previous administration. We have some under this administration. You had some under the previous administration. And the thing is, you look as citizens, we look for government to plan and implement things to make our lives better. You understand? And I noticed an article in relation to Mr. Patterson speaking about GPL and the PVP cake shop, and they're not putting systems in place to deal with the additional power that is now being demanded on the grid because of the increase of economic activity, more homes, more houses are on the grid. There's more business. There's more in terms of the tourism industry. We have more high-end, high-capacity hotels. So all these things are sucking power from the grid. And you would have heard Aubrey Norton, and we're gonna go to Aubrey Norton just now, Fadi Abraham, as I call him, talking about the PVP not putting plans in place. But I'm asking Aubrey, what do we contrast this to? We see new generators being bought. We see energy mix being implemented with solar already on stream in certain regions. The hydro is about to be back on stream again. The gas to shore project coming online. And like I said in Borbase some time ago, I even saw a giant wind turbine up there. So the government has been pushing for an energy mix, and we see citizens, businesses are moving towards that. So whilst they're getting some power from GPL, people are putting in solar panels, people are putting in wind turbines, to supplement the power that they're getting from GPL. But I continue to ask, what was happening with GPL 2015 to 2020? What kind of capacity was built in preparation for this booming oil and gas sector? Obviously, we know from post 2020, the pre-2020 period, that the hotel accommodations in hotels were high. We had persons coming, and I'm not even talking about in relation to tourism. The Marriott, most of the times, is completely booked out in relation to persons who are transitioning from onshore to offshore, right? Various hotels. You got expats coming in. You got persons coming from different regions to work in Guyana, right? And in closer to the shore bases. And we have sorry, people. Yeah, so we see all these increasing demand for power. But what was being done to ensure that GPL would be able to handle this load? Not much under the coalition, right? We do remember the same Patterson who is talking about power and contracts and a bunch of stuff. No, the same Patterson, whilst being Minister of Public Infrastructure, was one of the chief orchestrators of the Power Producers and Distributors Inc. Now, this was a local company which claimed to disrupt the system. And Patterson was very integral in that setting that up. You understand? Now, in relation to this, what's the thing's name? The Power Producers and Distributors Inc. It is alleged that they were responsible for maintenance issues that led to constant blackouts affecting ordinary Guyanese during that 2015 to 2020 period, right? Back then, there were claims that a lot of agencies, like City Hall as well, and some government agencies, owed GPL excessive amounts of money. What systems were put in place to recuperate those costs from these government agencies? And I'm not talking 100 million, 200 million, 800 and something million that everybody talking about, right? Receivables were approximately $13 billion. Do you know the kind of additions you could have had to the power grid if this caring coalition, the then caring coalition government, who care about people not having blackout and low cost for light and that kind of thing, why didn't they move forward to collect at least half of this money to add some capacity to the system? You understand? Nothing of the sort. Now, I want to move on to another aspect of this whole opposition members and complaining about projects and stuff like that. These same persons talk about friends, family, and favorites, misappropriation of funds, corruption, and all this other stuff. Lest we forget, David Patterson, the same person who is so vocal now, and that is why I call Pisin Pato a hypocrite. You understand? And I'm wondering if his brain's working like his eyes, like one side of the brain not looking or thinking about what the right side thinking about. You understand? Both going in different directions. Now, Patterson and Annette Ferguson, who had responsibility over public infrastructure, they changed the ministry from public works to public infrastructure. You understand? Received a lot of gifts during that period. And this could be considered as corruption. So these two persons should be the last talking about friends and family and contracts and all of that. And we're going to go through why, right? Now, if you all remember, in 2021, it was revealed that David Patterson received personal gifts totaling 2,646,000 from agencies under his jurisdiction during his tenure as a government minister. Now, Annette Ferguson, while she was a junior minister at the Public Infrastructure Ministry, she received items valued at 1.4 million from agencies classified as donations. Now, isn't this something for persons to be worried about or persons to take into consideration when listening to these very persons talking about corruption and government and government spending and these kinds of things? Are we forgetting that these people, man, anyway, let me go through the information. Most of the gifts were issued by the Maritime Administration Department, with significant sums spent by the Guyana Harbor Bridge Corporation. Now, y'all remember yesterday I was talking about Minister Edgel and his happiness with the management, with Mr. Watson's management of this agency now. Back then, it was beer spending, right? Bangles, bed sheets, and bracelets for everybody. You understand me? Now, the gifts continue to be issued despite a circular sent in 2015 by the Finance Secretary notifying government ministries and budget agencies of the illegalities of using public funds to purchase expensive jewelry and other personal gifts for government officials. They didn't give two. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna jump into critic mode. They didn't give a rat's hairy behind. You hear me? They didn't give a rat's hairy behind about this circular from their finance secretary, right? From their finance secretary. The gifts were still rolling out. Now, accounting officers, including permanent secretaries, these people could face penalties for spending monies that were not budgeted for or approved by the National Assembly as per the Fiscal Management and Accountability Act, right? So they didn't even care about that. They knew about the corruption. They get warned about it. You understand me? And there's like, the hell with that. We shopping. We blinging up. And I showed you all the photo early in the week with Patterson and the gold bangle when he signed the US 2 million contract, and he talking about critic and this body and the body. What happened to that pump station? What happened to that contract, Patterson? Is it finished up to now? You understand? Now, the Auditor General's office conducted a forensic audit of the situation at Marad and other agencies, and the Guyana Police Force was called in to investigate the circumstances, right? The issue of gift-giving within the Ministry of Infrastructure at the time, now the Ministry of Public Works, came to light during an investigation into the state-owned asphalt plant, a subsidiary of the Demerara Harbour Bridge Corporation. So corruption was abound all around. Now, in addition to Patterson's, the gifts I mentioned before, documentation revealed various agencies purchased expensive gifts for Patterson, including a $384,700 birthday bracelet. Now, the former manager for the Demerara Harbour Bridge Corporation, Mr. Ralston Adams, approved the purchase of a $897,000 bracelet as a gift for International Men's Day in 2020. You understand? Now, Adams later resigned and repaid for the item. I don't know if persons know, but the former general manager of the Demerara Harbour Bridge Corporation, Ralston Adams, had to resign and pay back the people $897,000. So instead of the Harbour Bridge Corporation doing something holistically, you understand me, with almost $1 million for the men who work at the Guyana Harbour Bridge Corporation, you understand me, for the men who work at the Guyana Harbour Bridge Corporation, they decided to buy one item for the minister who has oversight over that agency. Now, tell me, how that making sense? How is that making sense? How is that a government that has the best interests of its citizens at heart? Right? All that money that was spent on these ministers could have gone back into those staff at these agencies as incentive to encourage them to work hard and longer for the government. Right? Now, I wanted to jump, let me come off of GPL for a while. Matter of fact, no, let me finish dealing with GPL, then I'm going to come back. Now, I spoke of the former government and not having much evidence of the advancements of the Guyana Power and Light under their tenure, especially under their CEO, Mr. Albert Gordon. Now, let me share with you some of the advancements made on the GPL, under the coalition, right? And I'm glad Paul is here. Paul Joseph, in relation to that bridge you spoke to me about yesterday, could you send me some directions via text so I could pass it on to Councillor Chase Green? We were unable to make the check yesterday, but hopefully today we'll be able to go down there, assess the bridge, and make representation to have that sorted out. So, Paul Joseph, if you're on the live, WhatsApp me on the number on the bottom of the screen, which is not showing. Now it's showing. WhatsApp me on that number some directions to the location, and we'll go and check that out today, right? So we're talking about GPL and what the coalition government did to advance GPL, power generation, the ability for persons to have electricity going to their homes, right? Now, let's go through. GPL had been unable to provide satisfactory justification for the purchase of 8 bucket trucks at a total of 587 million people, right? Not too far off from critic contract. Not too far off. And that is why I find it so surprising that these persons with so many indiscretions and alleged illegalities, because I ain't trying to get liable here because this here has not made its way completely through the court system, right? But it is well documented. This 587 million was paid for these 8 bucket trucks, right? The CEO of GPL, Albert Gordon, at a press conference, had promised to explain the purchase, but never did so, right? The trucks were purchased for a significant sum, with 4 of them costing $253,337,460, well above the industry supplier's quote for similar trucks, right? Is this a case of friends, family, and favorite? Somebody could clear this up for me, right? It remains unclear what procurement procedures were followed in the acquisition of these trucks, raising questions about the transparency and the legality of the purchase. The contracts for the purchase were awarded to a big company here in Guyana, and they provided the trucks at this exorbitant cost. Now, what I wanted to highlight also is this purchase of these 8 trucks for 587 million. Y'all take a wild guess when this purchase happened. Man, somebody take a wild guess when this purchase happened. God. Take a wild guess when this purchase. Paul, tell me when this purchase happened. Tell me when this purchase happened, Paul. This was during the time we were waiting for election results. We were waiting for election results, people. This happened during that time, right? This happened during that time. We were waiting for election results, and the coalition government were overpaying for bucket trucks for GPL, taking the taxpayer money and overpaying for bucket trucks for GPL. Not buying generators or doing anything of significance for that company, right? Now, mind you, I understand that GPL would have a use for the bucket trucks, but when you're going to pay well above the industry standards when it comes to the price, that's where the issue comes. Because how are Guyanese getting value for their tax-paying dollars? And that is one of the things the coalition claims to be championing, ensuring that Guyanese get value for money. So I'm trying to understand why a purchase like this, why a purchase like this happened during the elections declaration period. And we knew of the many warnings about last minute spending by the coalition government during that period. We learned about the lands that were given away in Linden during that period. We learned about a former mayor who already got a subsidized house lot from the government, getting another subsidized house lot from the government during that period. You understand? So it was a bunch of bunkum happening under the coalition government during that time. Now, let's look a little closer at these trucks. 4 of the Iveco trucks, and the model would be the Versa SST 40 bucket truck, 45 feet in length. Each was priced at $63,334,365. This was significantly higher than the market price. This caused concern about cost effectiveness. You understand? Now, the same truck on the market for about 25 million at other places. So what could justify you paying double or a little over double the price for the truck? Now, look at this here. The reported price for the bigger Iveco VST 5500 utility truck, that's 65 feet, right, was $83,441,580. And this was a major discrepancy. So Patterson should be the last person talking about contracts, GPL, corruption, being in the right place, 2020 vision, anything of the sort. Last person, the last person having any discussion in relation to that, right? And what Paul comes in the YouTube comments and does is try to ignore the corruption under the coalition government. Paul 63. He comes here and he tries to ignore the corruption of the coalition government. So he messages me yesterday to say Jordan won 2.5 from the Attorney General. But he doesn't talk about how much money Winston Brassington won, how much money Anil Nandalal won, how much money Barra Jagdeo won in relation to cases from the coalition side. You understand? He doesn't talk about that. He will never mention the bucket truck deal because that will highlight corruption under the coalition. He won't talk about the bangles, bracelets, and all that stuff because that makes the coalition look bad and he represents the coalition. You understand? Now, what Paul tries to put over to me is because of this here. I'm a green screen. Well, let me show you my face. This color on my face, I should automatically jump on the coalition bandwagon. And I'm saying to Paul, not today, sir. And not ever. I'd never support that team. Never support that team. Right? So I wanted to, let me share this photo with you guys here now. Because we're moving on. We had some people talking about contracts being awarded to Pui Group and to Pui Group this and to Pui Group that. Thank you, Babita Sims. Paul would never mention Durban Park. Paul would never mention Durban Park. Right? Paul will never mention Durban Park. And I encourage Paul to come back to Guyana and you go and visit Durban Park to see that trash that they built there. The best thing at Durban Park is the stage area, and that's what Granger used to like. This is the best part. This is the proper thing there. Who in this day and age is building wooden stands anywhere in this world? You understand? For a major stadium like that. Who? I would like to know. Who? Paul head ain't good. Me boy head ain't good. The 18 million, he can talk about that. I'm saying Paul ain't gonna talk about that. But you know what Paul can talk about? Stuff like this. And Sherrod look a little uncomfortable there, like something boring. Anyway, Paul is going to talk about this. Now, mind you, I am not saying that this contractor or defending this contractor for the late delivery of what he was contracted to do. There might have been mitigating circumstances that caused him to deliver late. It could be negligence on his part. It could be incompetence like we have seen from the APNU AFC for 5 years that caused him to be in this condition. You understand? But there are systems that are in place for errant contractors like these to be taken to task for not delivering on what they were required to deliver on. Right? So Sherrod on his program last night, lamenting about this pump station, right? Lamenting about this pump station. So I was thinking, man, this is the only pump story we know about, that little fishy, that didn't go as it was planned. Let me tell you all about some pumps during 2015 to 2020, right? Let me tell you all about the wastage of taxpayers' money. Now, the APNU AFC government during 2015 to 2020 wasted 720 million on the procurement of fire pumps. Mind you, here was a fire pumps for drainage works. And in my view, this represents a significant financial mismanagement. Because first of all, the darn pump is not for what it was required. The pump we wanted was for drainage. The pump we got was for fires. Two big differences. You understand? So the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority faced problems with inoperable pumps and excavators under the APNU AFC government, despite farmers paying exorbitant rates for services. The APNU AFC government purchased 12 defective pumps from India, paying 75% of the cost up front. These pumps were unable to perform their intended task, just like the contractor Sharad showing here, unable to perform his intended task, which was for drainage in the agriculture sector. So, Sharad, Google is your friend. Before you jump out with these sorts of foolishness, I'm asking you to check the record, right? That's an issue at one pump station. Your government at the time bought 12 defective pumps, right? The contract for the pumps was awarded to Alpo International Limited, a company registered in India, and it included the design, supply, installation, and commissioning of pumps and associated equipment, right? During the commissioning stage of the pumps, numerous mechanical issues were observed, and affects I download the pictures. Let me pull it back up. Let me pull it back up so you could see. Because Paul might say a lion, and I want to feel a lion. I want you to feel a lion, Paul. So give me a second. Let me pull this up. Right? So they're talking about pump station, and they have a horrible track record of doing anything of proper significance in this country in relation to development. No track record, right? So let me show you. Let me show y'all what's going on here. Let me take Sharada off the screen. He look like he under pressure, right? So let me show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. Wrong screen. Right, good. Back. So y'all look at this. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm telling you no lies. Look at the story. Right? And this was revealed by the now Agri Minister. Right? Look. Broken drive shaft. Broken section of gearbox. Alpo International Limited. Look at this. Look at this. Let me go down a little more. Look. Broken gearbox fan. Signs that the engine is back pressuring. Defective parts of engine and gearbox. 12 people. Broken sections of engine. 12 these people buy. 12 these people buy. And they're talking about contract and friends and family and corruption. They're talking about corruption. Right? So during the commissioning stages of the pump, numerous mechanical issues were observed, just like I showed y'all here. Numerous mechanical issues were observed. Let me go down to the big picture and left it up here. Let me see if I can make this big. Right. Numerous mechanical issues were observed. It's there for you to see. These are the 12 pumps purchased by the coalition government that couldn't do the work. That could not do their work. We probably might. So let me see. This is Romano. No. So we might got to take these fire pumps and look after these wildfires across Guyana, Romano. You understand me? We will have to take these wildfires. We're going to have to take these same pumps and out these wildfires. Now, so you see the difficulties they had. Now let's look at the capacity. It was discovered that the equipment supplied was rated for fire pump application. You understand me? Fire pump application. These things were geared to outfire. So now, as Romana said, we got bushfire. We're supposed to be pushing these types of pumps. These pumps don't have the capacity to drain the agricultural areas that they were intended. Look at the money that was spent on it. Did Guyanese get value for that money? No, the Minister of Agriculture, Minister Mustafa, instead of focusing all his time in continuing to advance the agricultural sector, making initiatives and things easier for farmers, got to go and pursue legal action in the interest of the state to recoup the cost of these worries that they collect. You understand? Now, in budget 2022, corrective action funds were allocated for that, with a focus on expanding and strengthening drainage and irrigation systems in that same area where the pumps were deployed. So imagine you having to come into government and fix all the problems that the former government created and still continue to advance, and people cussing and abusing you, telling you about corruption with no evidence. No evidence. No evidence to back it up. So Sherrod, you stay off this pump station thing. Especially since you spend up Chronicle money and get knocked off from there. Well, but look, Paul come in. The AP and UFC out of government 3 years ago, they made mistakes. Paul, you call them mistakes, bro? Just mistakes you calling what happened between 2015 to 20 mistakes? What this we'll be looking at on the screen now, Paul, is a mistake to purchase 12 pumps that don't work, to buy 8 garbage trucks at almost double the price or just over double the price. You're right, beef steak, not a mistake. And we know you like steaks, Paul. Oh my goodness, Paul, we know you like steak. That's a beef steak, not a mistake. Hey, I love y'all in the comments. Y'all just crack me up. Anyway, I done with them, Bano. Look at these 2 worries. We had 2 worries at Congress Place hooking up the other day. 2 complete waste. 2 complete waste. I spoke of this male, former male, you understand, who has cut out nothing as an accomplishment in the capital city of Georgia during his tenure. He could tout nothing to say, hey, this was my initiative. Hey, I rehabilitated this. Hey, I built that. Hey, I did this, I did that. There is nothing that Mr. Ubraj Narain, Pandit, could tell you other than create religious division in this country between Hindus and Muslims. You understand? Create division. Then we got Mr. Mentor, the not so mayor, the mayor who needs to go to his subordinate to get instructions on how to move the council forward or whether he can take a decision or not. This is Mayor Mentor who is signing on vouchers. So could it be a case where City Hall might purchase some garbage trucks at double the price? Keith Adams will talk about that. 2 subsidized house lots when he was entitled to 1. Average Guyanese are entitled to 1. The regular man on the road entitled to 1 subsidized government house lot. Ubraj get 2. Right? Mayor Mentor signing on vouchers at City Hall. So I am worried about City Hall spending money that they don't have. So when the little subvention from central government come in, we don't know why we can't see anything happening in the city to move it forward. And again, I'm calling on City Hall. Central government has done quite a few roads within the Georgetown municipality. I am saying to City Hall right now, central government has done several roads in the Georgetown municipality. Y'all mean to tell me y'all can't even step up and put some speed bumps on the road? You ain't gotta do the whole road. I am pretty sure former Mayor Chase Green would have made representation at the council level. I am pretty sure of that. So central government helping and picking up the slack where you guys are slacking off. Drainage works, cleaning the city, garbage collection, and that kind of thing. Road works, which fall under the purview of City Hall, especially in the capital city. City Hall, that's your headache, right? So you can say, or your engineering department or your councillors couldn't come together to say, hey, the government do this road, we're going to put in some speed bumps here. Because you know how Guyanese say. You know how Guyanese say. We can complain the road got potholes, but as soon as it's smooth, we tear it down there. We ain't got time. We ain't got time to crossing if they got a school or anything in the area. Yeah, Paul, I was reading Paul's comment. Paul, you are anyway, let me go back. Let me focus. So City Hall, y'all need to step up and take some responsibility. Some of the roads that are done, it's not that hard. I know y'all got a roller. I know you got a little money, you could buy a little asphalt. Put the speed up on the thing, man. Central government already help you so much. Central government already help you so much. Oh, come on. Morning caller.
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. What's up, Vishal?
How you expect garbage to pick up garbage? Flat lose a bunch of garbage. So you can't expect them to pick up garbage.
Why these people is trouble?
Because when last comprehensive audit were done at City Hall.
And that's the thing, we've heard that. We've heard that from dancing.
The financial structure, the financial position of the city council.
Bluetooth mode.
They want auditing to all other agencies except City Hall because they control City Hall. What is so special about City Hall?
I would like to know myself.
I mean, how could, on a yearly basis, the council can't find money to pay the garbage collectors, the contractors? They can't find money to even pay themselves, and they collecting all this money on a yearly basis,
yeah,
or a monthly basis, or weekly basis. All they know is to go and insinuate or to indoctrinate the vulnerable vendors, right, with the crap.
Exactly.
These people have no good store, no good, and they claim that they so love the people that they always center the narrative around. But if you examine the actions of them whenever they have the chance, so they're given the chance by the people to lead, they can't even lead. They don't have leadership quality.
Yeah.
All these people focus about is insignificant things. How our man dress, what he's supposed to wear. He shouldn't wear the socks, and they don't match pants.
And critic contract, those are the studying.
They don't give you results, you know. Is that what you wear that gives you results, you know, sir? Is what you have in your brain to deliver. This is what the results are.
Yeah.
It's not how good you look in what you wear. is how good what is inside your brain whenever it comes out. The result from what comes out from your brain, your thinking capacity.
Yeah.
And if you examine these people, if you dissect the thinking, sir, they're a bunch of chaos. This Guyana force mad camp. You were telling you Guyana force, they got below the parameter or below the parameter to be measured as a circus. There's a mad camp. Real thing I tell you.
Oh my goodness.
Right? When you see these people could go killing American put on a facade. Yeah? People taking out picture here and posing up here and look important like the guy that signed a deal with Goldman Sachs or Vladimir or Lehman Brothers or one of them big bank in America.
You talk Goldman Sachs?
Sign the agreement. They have to go and sign agreement with banks who don't exist anymore. Because they can't go and sign no agreement with banks that exist. Bank you want here, I could have would have shut up. The bank want know where you got. They want here where you're supposed to get.
Yeah.
We know the banks. I don't know the bank is ink agreement like though. The bank want you go to the bank tell the bank, sir, I used to work. Or I used to live in America. I was a equipment manager in New York for 30 years. So we got. We want to hear how long you work with these people. You ain't got nothing here, see it learn from them. Must listen to Flap Nobody. He's a bunch of hopelessness.
All the time,
He's telling the support base. Nothing tangible, to uplift the livelihood. Nothing. Listen to these people properly. Like Guyana, all what Guyana know is chaos.
Right.
There's a set of redundant thinking people body. They have nothing tangible to sell the support base. Nothing tangible that it could reflect on and say, you know what, man, if we had one more time, we could complete this thing.
Right. Right. That's what I keep saying.
But they have nothing to sell the support base. They can't reflect on nothing. All right, let me look at the PPPC. When the PPPC took this country in 1992, brother, the infrastructure of this country was dilapidated, was crumbling. It had a crumbling infrastructure in every stratum in all sectors in this country. For example, I lived in Buxton for 10 years from 1990 to 2000. And when I went to live in Buxton, very few people in Buxton had a TV bus. Very few people had potable water in the yard. When the pipe cut off, we had to fetch water till from the Friendship Road.
Wow.
To where I'm living on the middle walk. You know what? Sometimes you're fetching it on your head. One on your head, one in your hand. 5 gallon bucket, brother.
Wow.
I know over exaggerating this thing. We had a goat card. You remember them old goat card that you used to make in the countryside, man?
Yeah. I've seen a couple.
The scooter with the bearings wheel.
Yeah.
God, this is how we know how fetching water. Right? Is when the PPP started putting potable water in everybody's yard in Buxton. Right? By 2000 when I voted, a lot of people had water in the yard. When I went to live in Buxton, the streets in Buxton, Mr. Jones, it was just the perimeter for the street. But in the street, it had coconut tree growing. It used to be a little track from the public road to the seawall or the public road to the railway embankment, because at one time we quickly apart the street like a cricket pitch. We used to play cricket in the street. It wasn't a paved road, my brother. It's after during the crime wave in Buxton is when the PPP started with all the streets in Buxton.
Yeah.
And you know what was the narrative then? What was the propaganda then? It's not the PPP doing streets. It's people in the diaspora pool the money and sell it to get these streets done. You know what I'm telling you? Me selling your dreams, boss. This is things that I heard. And I know to myself it was the government that were doing those enhancements or uplifting work. For example, Tipperary, if Jabio commissioned Tipperary,
yeah, but that was championed by Odinga Lumumba. He championed that initiative to the government at the time to get that facility built.
Right? So I can't point to nothing tangible that these people would have done. Especially in Boston and I grew up. Look at primary school I went to. Boston Primary. I went to that primary school from 1990 to 1996 when I rode common insurance. They allowed that school to close. They had to close down that school, brother. So what these people can tell the Guyanese people, more so Afro-Guyanese, what they got to reflect on. The only thing, I mean, when Jim Power was he had a whole different initiative. I mean, I'm not accrediting his an attitude minister or whatever, but the only person I could say, if anybody wanted to talk about anything that would have done to benefit Afro-Guyanese, the only person I could reflect is Bono.
Well, me be wrong then, sir. Me no, and I don't really read too much about it.
No. I just been. The reason why I'm saying this, if you go back in the history, when Bonham started the housing, foreclosing and the housing initiative in 1973, most of the houses were built in Afro-Guyanese communities. This is why you get Roxanne Bonham and Melanie Damshan and all of this.
Okay.
Right? When he started the food, clothing and all this shelter initiative, when the American government sabotaged Bonham's agricultural produce, he had a surplus in agriculture. When the American government sabotaged that, using paying a 5,000 US and still sabotage. Like I tell you the other day, Bonham sell out black people body. He doesn't want to talk about the PPP. Bonham sold the whole of Guyana for 5,000 US. Enjoy this, sir.
Alright, thanks for coming through. Ours with the facts. The guy ours with the facts. And things like that, people like Paul don't like to hear because it's hard. The truth is hard. It is hard. Anyway, I got 2 minutes more. I want to play a clip for y'all with Aubrey Norton and Sherrod's show last night. And he was talking about what the coalition did to make GPL better in preparation for the increase of capacity. Right? Let me hear from Aubrey quickly before we go, let me hear from Aubrey. And the nonsense that Aubrey's want to bring to me. Right? So let me hear from Aubrey.
Well, let me say the blackouts, the general handling of GPL would have established that the AP and UAFC was a much better government when it comes to competence than the...
Still at blackouts, you need AP and UAFC. Who overspend on bucket trucks. But they're better, they're competent.
In 2015, we inherited a Ghana Power and Light that was giving us blackouts.
So, he can say specifically what were the issues with the Guyana Power and Light. Just that the Guyana Power and Light was giving us blackouts. It is known. Right? It is known. Known. What did the coalition do to stop the Guyana Power and Light from giving us blackouts? Let's hear.
The records will show that we put a number of plans in place.
The records showing plans, right? This is the planning government, the PNC, AFC, AP, and UWPA, People's Movement, all of them. This is the planning party. They got all the plans, but no ability to implement. So if you all understand what the president was talking about yesterday when he said, let's talk and more action in relation to Guyana's development. Let me continue with the plan of the coalition government to increase capacity at GPL. However, never actioned anything in relation to what they're saying here. Let's go.
And we actually plan, as pointed out by the chairman, the then chairman of GPL, that we were... We're going to have 221.7 megawatts.
Now, let me just put this comment on the screen here, because I like it when the guests give me these things to remind me. Now, look at this. Aubrey Norton talking about a GPL plan. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Aubrey Norton didn't know nothing about GPL. You understand me? Aubrey Norton knew nothing about GPL. Aubrey Norton was youth advisor, the not so youthful youth advisor. The only thing youthful about Aubrey Norton is the two sons he walking around with. And they've been around a while, so they probably grown ass adults right now. You understand? Aubrey Norton had no voice in the government. Were Aubrey Norton going to tell anybody about GPL in the past under the coalition?
Which is way above what is needed now. The government came to power. They removed the management we had. They put back,
because they overpaying for the bucket trucks. And they're the same with the other management that the coalition had in government. They're doing in terms of spending up the public purse, the taxpayer money, bed bangle, bracelet, bed sheet, trip to China. You understand? And I'm alleging some of that money went to Annette House. It's an allegation I'm making it. Some of that money went to Annette Big House. That is my allegation I'm making here today.
back the old corrupt, incompetent management. And what in essence happened is that they did not plan for the increase that will come. And so as a consequence...
Stop a second.
And what in essence happened is that they did not plan for the increase that will come.
So, okay, the PVP government come into office at 2020, right? The administration that Aubrey Norton was a youth advisor in, 2015 to 2020. So what Aubrey trying to tell me that the planning stage for the increase in the power capacity that we have now should have started in 2020 when the PVP came to office? That's what Aubrey Norton is sitting here telling people, that there was no need to increase power generation 2015 to 2020, given the fact that we know we find oil, given the fact that, well, we didn't have investor confidence in Guyana, Aubrey. So you could be right. Persons were interested in coming and investing in Guyana when the coalition government was in power. You understand? So this influx of Guyanese coming back home to start businesses, foreign investors, countries and governments want to help guide Guyana in terms of managing our oil resources properly. They didn't have that then. Nobody wanted to deal with the coalition government. As a matter of fact, you couldn't even seek Ranger. So it's who you're talking to. And if you said we were sending Harmon wasn't representing Guyanese. Harmon had his citizenship overseas. Harmon's not Guyanese, he's a U.S. citizen. You understand me? He's a U.S. citizen. How are you representing the interests of Guyanese? You claim to love Guyanese so much. Why you want to give up your U.S. citizenship? Big old you. You understand me? So this is the foolishness you're getting from Aubrey Norton. Always got a plan. They had a plan. They left a plan for the Demerara River crossing, which was retarded and didn't get the proper consultation for the feasibility study. They always got some plan. The plan to put a curved piece of rock in Madia there. They couldn't do nothing else of significance. They put a shaft in the middle of Madia with a curve, not even straight, a shaft in the middle of Madia. Yes, Sally, I see it too. It's scaring me. I'll play it. You're right.
And so as a consequence, you have
the consequences is the PVP government who buying generators, who doing rehabilitation work on the power lines in the areas to make sure that they can hold the loads. You understand me? Let's hear the consequence of what they're doing now and what the 15 to 2020, I should say.
Situation where more power is needed, but because they did not continue to implement the program and implement,
So continue. So that means the start. Aubrey is claiming that they start. Let's see if Aubrey can give any details in relation to what they started to do in relation to increasing the power capacity, given the increase in housing and business and tourism and education and health, given those things that were on, all the plans they had. Let's hear if he's going to tell us.
Meant it properly,
That makes
you
sense.
now have a fall short. And so you're getting blackouts. And even with what is likely to come on stream, whenever they bring it, there will be blackouts because
So, oh my God, there's a terrible pause. So listen. Aubrey Norton is telling us about a plan the coalition had to increase power generation, right? Again, we are not hearing about. So we started to build this and we started to run these power lines and we purchased these generators and the PVP cancel it. You're not hearing that. You're hearing about a plan. You will see the plan. I didn't see the plan. I don't even know if GPL, former GPL head, see the plan. You understand me? But he got a plan. Now, he's talking about the efforts that are being made by this current administration and it falling for naught.
And so you're getting blackouts. And even with what is likely to come on stream.
What coming on stream? Solar farm, gas to shore project, a mile of hydro falls, right? I'm challenging Aubrey Norton to make this plan public. I am challenging Aubrey Norton here to make this plan public. Make this plan public in relation to what they were going to do to move GPL forward. What the plan was. Publish this document somewhere. But I fear this document might be like the SOPs. We're going to need a court case to actually see it. And ain't nobody got time for that.
Whenever they bring it, there will be blackouts.
2025, it coming in 2025, but when they bring in gas to shore, harbor bridge, y'all see, oh God, look, there got so much things happening in this country. It's so hard to keep track. Let me stop this foolishness with Aubrey Norton and show y'all something that makes sense, right? Let me show y'all something that makes sense quickly before I go. What's happening in this country, how Guyana is moving forward. Right? Let me show y'all something real quick. All my skin growing when I see it. I think I gotta go to Public Works page. Let me show y'all what's going on. And y'all from this, y'all see the difference between governments and the interest of the people, right? See who are the interests of the people at heart. Now, y'all look at this here. This here is the Linden to Mabura Road. The Linden to Mabura Road, the construction works that are currently going on in that area. I'm going to make it big for you. Right? There's asphalt, champ, ladies and gentlemen. And when this finished, just going all the way to let them. The coalition government couldn't conceptualize this, or this was a plan they had. Y'all look at what's going on. Asphaltic surface heading from the first phase from Linden to Mabura, and then it'll continue on. And mind you, the bridges to cross to get to Letem, all those creeks that you got to cross, about 60% of them are complete. You understand me? So y'all look at what is going on in the stronghold of the coalition, Linden Region 10, where they had no significant investment for the people, not even for jobs. They didn't upgrade no hospital, nothing. Right? Pretty soon we could take the car and drive from Tong straight to Brazil, or Letem, or any one of them indigenous areas in Region 9 or Region 8. And I'm sure they probably got some plans to do from 58 to Mario. so that persons could get there easier. We all could tell this government. You understand? Shout out to everybody in Scarborough, Ontario, Canada joining us. Bharat Mangar, thank you for joining in. You understand? So this is progress. This is progress. This is progress. This is progress. So I'd like to share that with y'all. And just to let you know, we was looking at. So the Linden to Borough Road project, 35 km surface covered. The blinder course or the lower part of the surfacing has been placed on the stretch of the road, which starts around 7 plus 500 km. I guess that's some kind of engineering term. Just before Rockstone Junction, Upper Demerara, Borabis, and goes up to 3 km. The asphaltic blinders is waterproof and functions as a thermoplastic adhesive, allowing for the wearing course. The wearing course will be added before the lanes and usual road markings. The total stretch is 121.2 km from Linden to Mabura and is slated for completion in 2025. Right? So by 2025, all these people in this area coming out to vote PPP. All them coming out to vote PPP. No headache at all. You understand? Marisha, it's been some time. It's been some time. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome, Miss Sammy. Right? Shout out to Mr. Earring Ward up there in Bartik and the whole team. Shout out to Randy Mangru and those guys there in Region 6. Big up yourself, Dr. Murray, Dr. Harris, Dr. Richards, and all those other persons working hard there in Linden. Whole up, big up Chairman De Silva up in Region 2. Prime Ministerial Rep Mr. Adams as well. Whole up, big up. You guys are doing wonderful work. Guys, I went over my time this morning, but I had to share these things with y'all. And y'all see the progress that is happening, right? In this country. They even did the 10 kilometers of roadway completed thus far on the Tamiri Sandhill Bartica Road. An alignment from a 10-foot sand trail to a 20-foot wide fair weather road. This is on the opposite, the western bank of the Demerara River. All around development. Who started building culverts? What culverts? Paul, tell me what culverts you're talking about. Let's deal with this one last thing before I go and get a couple more minutes, Paul. Which culverts you talking about? Who started building the culverts? What culverts Paul talking about? Look, listen, y'all remember the Educate Me? The Linden to Lethem Road or the one over the river? Bartica. Anyway, shout me after Paul. I gone, man. You on another level. So guys, remember Educate Me Parent Summer Camp is starting on October 14th at the Diamond Grove Secondary School. So please contact Miss Lowingfield, not that Lowingfield, but a good, genuine teacher Lowingfield who's looking to help parents help their students become better educated. You guys could take part in this program where you'll be exposed to language arts, mathematics, to better help your children at home with their education, right? I'd like to take this time here before I go to shout out to our sponsors, iSecure Security Service. You're secure with iSecure. Remember that. And they have some of the cheapest rates out there for security services, whether it be static, armed. They do security service for communities. If an area wants to come together and, have security at the entrance and the exit of the community, patrols in the community. They're able to do that. They do sanitization of facilities. And you can also get your fireballs there with all the fires that are happening. Check out iSecure for the fireballs. You can pick them up there, right? So iSecure Security Services, check them out for armed and unarmed guard security, executive close protection, gun spark cleaning service, fumigation and sanitizing service, general construction, and various supplies, right? Everything you need there at iSecure. Also, guys, King Kong Construction, give those guys a check out if you guys are doing any kind of construction in the area, doing anything, building road. Policy talking about the Linden Lethem Road. If you're talking about them bridges that were there before, Paulo, those wooden bridges that the trucks used to fall through, people vehicle used to sticking and falling off on the side, yes, the coalition built that trash. So now we got concrete bridges that make sense. That is what I'm saying to you. If you're talking about those bridges that were there before, they were trash, and we have proper things now. End of that. So again, guys, King Kong Construction, the numbers on the screen, give them a call, and they can take care of whatever it is you need in relation to getting things constructed. If you're looking for something to wear, y'all check out End Cloth. They got a lot of clothes, medical clothing and devices, clothing for males and females, cosmetics, and even electronics. Talking about electronics, make sure if you're doing any kind of wiring or anything for your home, getting your home set up, surveillance cameras, if you need videography service or photography services for your funeral, your weddings, your birthday parties, or anything of the sort, please check out 592 Tech Vision. These are the persons who are supporting Livewire and making sure that we're here every day with you guys to share information, debunk the foolishness that is being put out by the opposition, and ensure Guyanese have credible information, despite the information coming from not so credible sources like Sherrod Duncan and Rickford Burke and all those other people who have opinions on everything, right? So it was really wonderful being here with you guys today for the program. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of Jackie Jacks as we close off. You know, as Jackie said, rise up for your land, represent your land as Guyanese, right? Remember, it's all about peace, love, and that one Guyana.